Hey friends, welcome to Zoomies, the show where two lesbians, three cats, and one dog decided that living in a camper full-time sounded like a great idea.
We're sharing the real behind the scenes of remote work, road trips, and all the chaos that comes with trading square footage for freedom.
I'm Britt, and I can't believe I don't see a temperature starting with the number 8 in our forecast. We are definitely not in Louisiana anymore.
And I'm V, and I am desperately in need of some good book recommendations. I'm a big reader, and I have read through my entire list that I wanted to read for this year. So please help me out. Do y'all have any good book recommendations?
You have read all the books. We need to get you some more. Send your reading recommendations. What kind of books do you like? Tell people more about that so they know what to recommend.
So, I like sapphic romance. But I've also been getting into modern Japanese contemporary fiction.
That's a genre.
That is a genre. And what I love with Japanese fiction novels is cats are often featured in it. So I think I told you to read The Full Moon Coffee Shop. There's cats in it. I'm right now in the middle of We'll Prescribe You Another Cat is a sequel to the original We'll Prescribe You a Cat. Highly recommend that one.
I've read that one. It's really good. Definitely recommend that.
But so I'm burning through my list, and all the books that I want to read are not being released yet. A lot of it's going to be next year. So I've already hit my reading goal, and I've read my book list, but I still want to read. So please help me out. I am desperate.
Help me out. Comment, reach out to us, tell us your book recommendations. Back to the show. Every week, we'll bring you stories, tips, and probably a few freakouts as we figure out camper life and working together one mistake at a time.
In each episode, we'll have a couple of exciting mini segments and also address a specific topic. Today, we're going to talk about portable productivity, but first, let's kick off our first segment. What did TikTok not tell us?
Yeah, what did TikTok not tell us? This week, this is a fun one.
This one's a little personal.
Laughing because she's excited for this one.
I came up with this one.
You did. TikTok didn't warn us about campsites having that one guy who watches everything like a hawk. I thought we were done with HOA type of things, but there is this one very nice gentleman, I'm sure, at the campground.
He's both a neighbor, and I think he works here.
Yeah, I think he probably lives here, but also works here. But boy, he takes that 6 mile per hour limit, speed limit seriously, and I probably should as well. I take it pretty seriously.
I don't think, for the record, she does not speed. I'm in the car with her, and I have no problem being I know I'm a passenger princess, but I do the backseat driving with her sometimes. And I would let her know if she was speeding in a dangerous speed or something.
I would be maybe going 10 miles per hour. It's not like I'm flying through here at 40 or whatever, but I'm just not necessarily going 6 exact miles per hour when there are literally no cars or children around. And twice I have gotten in trouble for that.
What did he say the first time when he finally caught up with us?
Yeah, he followed me to my campsite and goes, yo, you were speeding. My golf cart couldn't keep up with you. And I wanted to be like, I think you might need a new battery for your golf cart. But that didn't feel like the right response in the moment. So,
and it was in different cars too. First was in your truck, and then the second time was in my car.
Yeah, so he's definitely caught an eye on me. And the second time, what's funny is the second time I was going slow, but as I approached the gate to get out, I started, I guess, feeling like I gunned it. But again, couldn't have been going more than 10 miles per hour. And he did the whole hand motion for slow down. And
for context, we were out of the campsite. Yeah. We were just in the driving parking area trying to leave to get on the main road.
Yeah. So anyways, you better believe now I take it seriously.
Annoyingly so.
And
a little petty-like.
Yeah, a little petty-like. I saw him out one day, and I kind of wanted to take some laps around him going 6 miles per hour, but V said that was a little too petty.
We had somewhere to go as well.
We did, but it was just so obnoxious. And, what I have found, though, what works is my truck, it will go around 5 to 6 miles per hour if I give it no gas. So if I literally just let off the brakes. So that is how I drive my truck now around the campground. I give it 0 acceleration. I just let off the brakes. And that's fine. Your car's a little harder because 6 miles per hour is actually really difficult to do because you have to give it a little bit of gas, but not too much gas because then you're suddenly going 7 or 8, and that is clearly unacceptable to some standards here. So.
I'm waiting for one day he's going to be stuck behind us, and Brittany will literally go 3 miles per hour.
I'll slow down even
just
further.
To spite him.
No, next time he tells me, I'm going to ask him to write me a ticket and show me his radar gun that showed I was going more than 6 miles per hour because I don't think he can prove it. I think he's going off 5s at this point. So,
I could say your lawyer suggested that we're reaching the point of harassment.
Yeah. So anyways, all that is to say, if you're listening to this and you're slow down, there's kids in campgrounds. Yeah, I'm not trying to drive recklessly around here. You try driving 6 miles per hour and see how hard and arguably more dangerous I feel it is than just driving like a safe like 10 mile per hour speed limit.
And where you quote unquote were speeding, it wasn't even where the kids would be. It's like the main road where the kids shouldn't even be anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what the issue was.
Yeah.
I think he might just have it out for you.
I don't want to say that because I don't like assuming that of people, but I kind of think that may be the case. I haven't seen him like slow down anyone else, and like honestly, the golf carts in this complex move faster than I feel like I'm moving. I actually went for my run yesterday, and at times I was running 5.5 miles per hour, and I was like, oh my goodness, like when I like start actually getting a little bit faster, this guy might like have to pull me over when I'm running around in the campground. So I look forward to seeing that.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, if you're listening, sir, I'm sure you're a very nice person, but can you please help me understand what is the problem with going 7 or 8 miles per hour versus 6?
Can we almost say it's a hate crime because we are clearly a lesbian couple?
I'm trying not to think about that. I'm trying to assume positive intent, and it is not that.
I'm a lawyer. I play devil's advocate.
She has to. All right, let's move on to something a little more positive and enlightening, our Zoomies tip jar. I wrote down this one. I was pretty excited about this.
You can go ahead.
Okay, so we recently traveled, had a weekend in Vegas, and it was the first time we used a service called Rover, which is like where you can find people to watch your animals, because I thought about boarding Levi, but I didn't really want to, but I also thought it was going to be really hard to find someone to stay in the camper with him. We ended up finding someone. She was really nice. She was great. We'd love to like keep working with her. She was awesome and didn't even have a problem at all with the camper. Like how sad, to be clear. She didn't just come and like check in on Levi. She like actually like stayed in the camper with him. And
did not seem to have any reservations about it either.
Yeah, no reservations about it. And like admittedly, you know, if it was like for a longer period than like 3 or 4 days, there were probably some more things I would have had to tell her, but honestly, this thing's pretty easy to maintain for 3 to 4 days, especially if you're not, like, she wasn't planning to cook in here or do things like that. So,
no, she just kind of came, she checked on them throughout the day, and then she would just, like, sleep here through the night with them.
Right. And so, the tip that I found that was really helpful is when you have someone staying in your camper or, like, watching your animals, and this is honestly probably true of, like, your house as well, like, I don't know that it's just camper specific, take a few videos of the common things that you do, like, in our case, I recorded, she came here and I showed her around stuff, but I know how hard it is to, like, remember things sometimes in the moment, especially if things, like, look different than, like, what you're used to, like...
Or even just, like, writing it down is, like, hard to be, like, you don't know if you're looking at the right thing.
Right, yeah, you don't know, like, I can write out the steps for turning off the water, but, like, having a video showing where you go to the spigot and which exact thing you turn without trying to understand if you're describing it correctly, like, that's huge. And that was really helpful. She said that was really helpful, and it gives both me as the like person who maintains these things and the person who's doing it peace of mind that you won't accidentally mess things up because you literally have something you can kind of look at. So yeah, I think this is really useful, like I said, even if you're not in a camper, but maybe you have someone new staying in your home, showing things like the shower. I don't know why every shower I use feels so different and confusing to me, but like whenever I'm in a new place, I swear I have to like understand like, okay, do I turn this one? Do I turn this one? Do I turn it at the same, which way does it go? Like,
I have a fun story. When we were in Vegas, she needed her sister's help to figure out the shower.
It was, okay, I realized there was like a delay in the hot water coming through, but no matter which way I pushed it, it was not hot enough for me, and I was like, this is not going to work.
She was like, can I have someone come in for a second opinion?
Yeah, Britt was close enough, so she just like popped in to say, yeah, this is cold, give it a minute, and I did, and it worked. So she should work in IT. So yeah, so that's our tip. Whether you're in a camper or whatnot, you've got someone staying in your house and there's new things going on, or just even if you're new to camper life, just have someone show you a video of a thing that you're trying to learn how to do that you're going to be doing commonly, so you can reference it, so you're not sitting here wondering each time, are they doing it wrong? Am I doing it wrong? Like, here's like a blueprint of how this process is supposed to go when it works, as viewed by a authorized user who's done this process before. So.
And it might seem like overkill, but like you would rather give too much instructions and be way too clear than to leave it vague and have somebody guessing and make them feel bad, and then you also nervous, be like, did I write it out okay? Do they know what to do? So yeah. I think the videos was like a solid idea.
Right, exactly. So yeah. All right, now let's move on to our main topic. Today, we are talking about what does productivity hacks look like now that we're on the go and our routine is a little different than before. I've been kind of coining the phrase portable productivity. I don't know if that's like really a thing, but it's basically the idea of, yeah, everybody's all into productivity, but it's easy to have your systems and your routines and your tools and your things in like a very systemized manner. But for us and for a lot of people, I think productivity doesn't always happen in the same exact place or in the same exact environment. And so portable productivity to me is kind of the idea of figuring out what are those sort of mindsets and tools and systems that help you be productive wherever you are, whenever you need to be, without being in the ideal situation. So let's kind of start by, I kind of want to break this section down into 3 things, right? I want to talk about like mindsets and then systems and tools, because I think those are kind of the 3 pillars that kind of play into this. So starting off with mindsets, I've been working remotely for a long time.
Before COVID.
Yeah, before COVID. And it wasn't a difficult thing for me. It was like a very normal idea. I think actually, I think something that helped me is that I grew up homeschooling most of my life. And I think that actually kind of was like the work from home before anyone was working from home. Like I've always kind of had to be like, there's not, you know, a physical environment where everyone is sitting together and you're surrounded by a bunch of other people doing the same thing you are and a supervisor or a teacher is watching you. Like I've just literally since I was a kid had to be like, okay, well, here is the thing you need to do. Go get it done in whatever way makes the most sense for you. So, and then obviously, like, you know, I went to college, and then after that, that kind of transferred into a little bit of like working in an office, but then I spent more of my career working from home. And so even then though, there's still a big difference from working in like your home office versus like on the road or like in a camper or in airports and things. And at first I kind of struggled with it because I was like, wait, am I working on vacation? But like, and that felt kind of weird, but then I've kind of come to love the idea of figuring out the change of scenery really excites me, and the different backgrounds, and just even like working in airports. Like the bustle of the airports is enough to excite me and like scratch that itch for distraction without being too distracting to what I'm actually working on. What about you? What's kind of been your perspective of working on the go?
Obviously, we're very different. Or initially, because I was a type where at home, that's my relaxing area where I do fun things, where I chill. And then, you know, whether I work in an office or like law school, like I had a place where, all right, it's time to knuckle down, open my laptop and do work. But I did find that, I think maybe it was COVID, that I got really bored even if I had a set place to work, the monotony of it. Like, I needed to change my environment, or at least adjust my environment. That way, you know, I didn't feel like I was stuck in a box.
Yeah.
So I think working remotely, like with you, or like even on the road that we've been doing, has been helpful because we're constantly changing our scenery.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. But it's also kind of getting to that mindset. I do it to where, like, you know, for me, like, our bedroom is off limits to do work, at least for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I read, that's where I sleep, that's where I hang out with our animals. Like, I can't do work in there. I cannot, like, convolute the two.
You have different zones for
Yeah.
where you do, like, you literally signal your brain,
Yeah.
this area is for this one is for this.
Yeah, and so I mostly work because Brittany has, it, like, we could share this desk, but the way it's set up with our animals, like, Lilo has a bed on Brittany's desk, where typically that's where my computer would go, but it's fine. All I need is my laptop, really. I'm not like, no offense, I'm not like Brittany. I need a giant screen here, another screen here, and all the extra
fancy
bits.
keyboards and a wrist rest.
I mean, it's nice, but
Yeah.
like, I think working remotely, at least for me, has shown me what I actually really need. And if you need it, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's different.
Right.
So I honestly just need my laptop, and if I need to, I can use my iPad as a second monitor, which is also really cool.
Yeah. And for the record, we do have, you know, an additional second monitor for you here in the camper. And like,
Yeah.
that's the thing too, is that we'll probably talk about this more in like tools and systems, but it's like kind of pivoting and just figuring out like what works for you.
And always experiment, like,
Yeah.
because you never know, like, one system might work pretty good for you, but another system can be like really great, and if it's not like too much for you to set up and break down whenever you need to, hey, that works. Like, this works for Brittany. It's actually not that, even though you have quite the setup, it's really not that hard to set it up and
Yeah.
pack it up.
Right, and you've got to figure out, like, it depends on the type of work I'm doing, too. Like, I don't always need this much setup, but, like, when I'm doing, like, development work or, like, building mods for Pixie Bricks, like, it's easier to have, like, multiple screens to be able to see everything that I need all in one place. But, you know, sometimes if I'm taking a meeting or something, I actually kind of prefer to sit outside with less screens because I'm more likely to focus on the meeting than distract myself with other stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point, because, like, before I used to work in policy, so, like, I would have to reference so many different documents and whatnot, so it helped to have multiple screens, because I would have to review one thing, I would have to have another screen with any updates that we need to do, and then on my main screen, I'm doing the new draft or something like that. So, again, it's all based on what kind of work you're doing, but at least for me, for right now, mainly because I'm job hunting, or just like, working on our content. I just need my laptop and maybe just like noise canceling headphones because, of course she's going to be in and out of meetings. And so I can focus. I think that's the thing. Just making sure that you have the tools that you absolutely need and that you have a designated area or zone to where, all right, when I'm here, I work, and when I'm over there, I can decompress.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of, that's kind of a good segue to talking about like systems and tools. One thing I do want to say before we jump over to that I think relates in terms of mindset is I think the biggest thing that you have to kind of think of about whether it's working from home or, working on the go is that you have to focus more on output, and it's more of an emphasis on what you're doing. And again, I think this kind of comes back to some of my homeschool days where it's like, you have homework assignments that are due. You have papers that you write. Like, it's about doing that. It's not about sitting in a desk for 8 hours a day.
Yeah, and I guess we'll talk about this is like having an actual, like, a way to measure, all right, did I accomplish the things that I needed to do?
Right. Yeah, and that's where I think it comes down to kind of like systems and stuff like that too. But it's very much that mindset that I think I didn't realize so many people have, that they just feel productive because they sat in their office all day. And it's just like, I think being in the office makes it easy to play business because, you feel like you worked, you feel like you did your job because you were in the place you're meant to do your job. Whereas like working behind the screen kind of forces you to actually like have some output because...
Like, what is the product of all those things, all this time that you've been working?
Yeah, like what did I actually do today? Like I didn't go into an office, what did I do? And
I think there's actually been a study about, with that, proving that working from home isn't detrimental to productivity at all.
No, because like, and for various reasons, I think it kind of like it puts a little bit of social pressure on you to have more output because people are going to wonder like what you're doing. And to that point, I think like the inverse of that as well, it's not actually about the hours you work either. Like that's not to say, oh, you're working from home. Well, you need to be working more hours, like so that it appears you've done more work. And like, no. It's actually about like doing work and working efficiently and working in the ways that make the most sense to you. And like working, in these different environments can give you a lot of flexibility for that. And so you can take longer breaks in the day if you need to, or you can start earlier or work later. Like, you can really work with your schedule. And so getting into that mindset of, this is dancing with my brain and how it's meant to work. And it's about getting the right things done, not just, sitting in a spot and playing business or playing productivity. So I think that's probably a good segue into like, we're kind of touching on it now, but talking through some systems. And one of the things we were talking about is figuring out what puts you in the work zone / mindset. And I know you were saying it's kind of like noise canceling headphones for you. And
yeah.
What else is it?
It's a little bit of an environmental thing, and knowing that this is where I work, this is where I relax. So it's like
separate
that mindset.
Spheres.
Yeah. So, and like, I don't like to mix the two. And I know that's sometimes a little bit hard for people, and especially hard to conceptualize because we're working just in a camper. But like, even though in the living room area is where I work, it also happens to be where I watch TV and whatnot. But it's easier for me to kind of snap that on that I have my laptop in front of me. I can zone in and focus on my laptop.
Yeah.
And things like that. And like also like kind of what you were saying to make sure you have that output. I am a firm believer in checklists. You can see I have different journals and like planners and whatnot. I have a list of everything that I need to accomplish. And that's the way I measure my own productivity. It's like not how many hours that I worked. Did I accomplish everything that I needed to accomplish today?
Yeah. And I know we use different sort of things to sometimes do that. Like I use Trello, and at work we use Notion and like different sort of tools to kind of keep track, and like GitHub, like things to keep track of like what are those things that I'm actually responsible for and what am I doing. And I love the idea of writing it down as well. I know you mentioned you like crossing things off like gives you that sense of satisfaction.
It's a little addicting, like being able to be like, look, like I'm crossing this off, I'm crossing that off, and you just kind of want to keep doing that.
Yeah, because you have a list of deliverables and it gives you that sort of momentum. I also really like writing things out because it helps me break down what I'm doing into clear, actionable stuff. So I'm not just working for the sake of working, and it's just like, well, I need to write a blog post today. It's like, well, no, but specifically what do I need to do? Well, I need to like draft an outline, and then I need to actually like write it, and then I need to like create the thumbnail. Or it's like, I'm building this feature, and it's like, well, I'm not just building this feature. I need to like scope out what is required for it. I need to like test edge cases. I need to like fix the UI, breaking that down. It also helps with like ADHD because when you break things down into tiny steps, it helps you like actually get some traction.
Yeah, if you go in it blind, like not without having a plan at all, like how do you know you're actually making progress? So I think like, because I kind of attack my task that way too. Like, all right, I might not go get this from start to finish, but what did I accomplish? And setting up those kind of timelines, be like, all right, I need to have all this research done, or I should have a draft done by like this week, and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that's a really good system as well, kind of like, logging out what you're doing and making plans and checking against that. I think another sort of big piece of that is taking productive and active breaks throughout the day. I think this is maybe general productivity advice, but I think it's more relevant when you're kind of on the go, and it's easier to do because I notice that when I'm at home, it feels very foreign and weird to just get up and walk in the middle of the day. It shouldn't, but it does. But when I'm here in the camper, it's a lot easier to the idea of like get up and move around when I'm taking breaks, right? Because there's always something to do in the camper. There's always something to do outside, whether it's like blowing off leaves off the roof or pine needles or whatever.
I mean,
or
if you're at a campsite, be at the campsite.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a little camp store up front I can go walk to, and I want to go get a fun drink or pick up packages or groceries or things, or go laundry. Speaking of, like, how on earth did I do laundry when I worked in an office? I have no idea how people who go to an office do laundry. Like, I guess you do it on the weekends?
Yeah.
But I have no idea how I did laundry when I wasn't able to just, like, go switch something over and then go back to work and then come back to it, like, an hour later. Like, I feel like laundry is, like, a whole 3-hour thing. But anyways.
Or they do it after work, and that's why they're staying up.
That's why they're staying up so late. It's
Maybe
wild.
Shout out to our friend Lane. Maybe this is why he just
Never
leaves his
does
laundry. Well, never is a strong way to put it. He just leaves it in the dryer until he needs it.
Yeah, which... That is a system. That is a system, speaking of systems.
But for the record, if you don't want wrinkly clothes, always fold and put up your clothes after they dry.
Free Zoomies tip jar for you there. So another important system that I think is really important for portable productivity, especially when you're working in close proximity with others, is communicating schedules. And so it's really helpful to know. I do this a lot when I'm traveling too, in like Airbnbs with friends and stuff like that. Communicating like, hey, I've got big meetings at this sort of time. Like, we all have those meetings where it's like, when I'm just like, chatting up with my coworkers, like, it's not a big deal if like we're running the blender in the background or something. But there's always, important ones is like, I need roughly like, no major noises that we can prevent, like going off, or like.
This is something where probably don't bother me unless like it's an emergency.
Yeah, exactly. Or, just maybe don't walk behind me in a sports bra kind of thing. Like,
it happened once.
So, yeah, exactly. And we both like to kind of keep track and share our schedules with that. And so he has access to my calendar, which helps a lot. Like, that way I try to communicate it at the beginning of the day, like, here's what we've got on deck. But also she can see on my calendar if, like, I'm actually in something serious or not.
And very rarely does it happen, especially now. But before, whenever I still had my job, we would have meetings at the same time.
Yeah.
So it would be a situation of, obviously, we both don't want to be in the living room. So you'll be at your desk and I'll just like be in the bedroom, even though I'm
breaking the rule.
But if it needs to, or sometimes she'll go outside because she likes to be outside.
Right. Especially now that it's starting to get a little bit cooler, I think that'll be like a lot easier to handle. Because it's not like we're not in Louisiana with like 95 degrees and humidity. So like taking a meeting outside isn't too terrible. And so it's super easy to do stuff like that. And again, like if we need to, like let's say it's raining or freezing or hot, like that is the nice part about the camper, having technically two, I don't know what you would call a room exactly in this, but like being big enough that we can, close doors. Like if we were really desperate, someone could sit in the bathroom, I guess too. Like,
but fortunately it hasn't gotten to that point.
No, yeah, exactly. So I think that's really great. But I think another system I like is finding spaces and times for doing those certain tasks. And so we were kind of talking about, having different zones of like work versus not work, but I like to break it down a little bit even for having zones for like the types of work that I do and kind of different systems for like putting myself in those mindsets, right? So when it's like super deep focused work, I like to be at my desk and I like to put on my noise canceling headphones, and I use an app called Brain FM where it's actually it's like plays these like binaural beats that kind of like help you sort of like focus. Like it's literally music that's meant to help your brain focus. And so literally that sort of ritual signals to my brain, okay, what we're about to do is like heads down, focus time, like set a Pomodoro timer, like get going with that. And that works really well for me. But when I'm wanting to do some more creative stuff, like sometimes it is actually kind of more fun to sit outside and like just kind of like brainstorm through ideas on like a single screen, or, like editing videos and stuff, just kind of like sitting on the couch, like different sort of environments kind of trigger different sort of things for me.
for me, I guess whenever I'm in those mindsets, it's like the work I do, it covers a lot of ranges. Like at my old job, I would have to do like really intense work. So I needed to be, sometimes I would have my noise canceling headphones on and I would play either some type of focus music, lo-fi beats, or I don't know why. I don't know, it's because I live with you. Sometimes I will look up like ASMR, just like typing sounds.
You miss my clickety-clackety when I'm not clickety-clacking.
She clickety-clacks a lot, y'all. But then, like, if I'm doing more creative things, like maybe graphics for our stuff or whatnot, I look at I will either take a break or, like, I look at things or reference things that I just find inspiring. Like, I have several books on graphic designs and logos and things like that. So, do whatever works for you, but also, like, sparks that inspiration and creativity.
Yeah. So let's kind of, just to start wrapping this up, let's talk about some of the tools that we like with productivity, portable productivity on the go, however we want to say it. One of the things that helps, since I am a clickety-clacker, I use a tool called Crisp for noise canceling and voice isolation. It's really good at capturing with my microphone just my voice and blocking out noise that's going on around me, which you wouldn't hear things like the air conditioning going on, or you won't hear me clicky-clacking on my keyboard. It's like a really, really great tool for that. They also do really good AI summaries and outlines from meetings. Very helpful. I would say I don't use that as much as I use the noise canceling stuff, but it's still very helpful that it's there and it comes with it. I also like to use Brain FM. That's the one I was telling you about. That's kind of like produces those binaural beats and stuff like that. It's super handy for, helping me get in that focused zone.
I'm a big fan of the Lo-Fi Girl that you can listen to on YouTube, and I think she even has Spotify and whatnot, so love her. But also shout out to Chris, because our cat is currently dragging around a toy with a bell on it, and I don't think y'all can hear it.
We already had a whole episode about a lot of the tech we use. Fast Wi-Fi is obviously really important too. Portable screens, I don't need them necessarily in the camper, but I do have this portable screen from Arzopa that I'll include a link to, and it basically looks like a folder that I can just slide in my backpack, like even thinner than my laptop, and it's like a 15-inch screen that I can just plug in and access whenever I need to. So I'll usually bring that with me if I'm like traveling with a backpack and flying and don't have my like actual monitors.
And again, for my Apple and Mac users, your iPad can work with your MacBooks and be a second screen, which I love so much.
That's a great feature. I think it's called Sidecar. If you've never tried that out, definitely check that out. But yeah, literally you can use your iPad as a second screen, which is really handy. So all right, time to wrap this up. If you have any questions or other thoughts you want to share, let us know. I feel like we could talk more about some stuff like this for forever, and we're planning to make some more content around that. So let both of us know what you found interesting and what you'd like to see more of here. But it's time to move on to our favorite segment. I think this is everyone's favorite segment. I don't know what their favorite segment is. The Pet Drama Report.
So look, we love Lilo. She is our
baby girl.
Big baby girl. I say big because she is thick with
2 C's.
Being that she is thick with a big belly, she also has some gnarly poops.
Real quick, I will say, when we thought about starting this podcast, I did not realize how much Lilo's bowels and bowel movements were going to come up in but I feel like we might need a counter for how many times it comes up in episodes.
Or just like in general, because like not last night, 2 nights ago, I was staying with Britt's sister. That's a whole story. But anyways, Brittany messaged me. She was like, Lilo just let out. It was the middle of the night. Like, the worst smelling poop.
It was so bad. I had to open the windows. It was so bad. But anyways, speaking of her poop, we have a challenge.
So she has gnarly poops, and it sometimes gets stuck to her fur around, that area. We need to find a way to not have that happen. Basically, we need to shave her butthole.
Yeah, so we need to figure out how to shave around that area, and if anyone has any tips, has done this before, has any experience with cats or dogs, I guess even, any sort of animals where the poop kind of gets a little stuck because of the fluffiness around the butts, we would love any tips from you all about how to deal with that, because that is kind of the pet drama report, is that we've got to figure out how to prevent that.
Because not only does it smell follow her, and wherever she goes, which whenever she follows us, it also, we don't want it to smear on anything it shouldn't.
Yeah. And she does not like us cleaning it out. Like,
No.
I mean, she's pretty good about it considering, but like...
One of us has to hold her and like
Yeah.
hold her paws down, that way she doesn't claw somebody, and the other has to do the unenviable task of wiping it.
Very unenviable.
Yeah. Side note, she is like right next to us sleeping without a care in the freaking
She
world.
has no idea we're talking about her and how to like mutilate the hairs on her behind.
Like, she is so at peace. It must be nice to be a house cat.
It must be so nice. So, on to our last segment, the random question of the week.
I can ask.
Ask it, please.
So, darling, who is the designated spider remover of this camper?
Anybody want to take any guesses? If you're listening, ding, 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 yes, it is me. I'm generally in charge of bugs, but sometimes I do need assistance. So, every now and then it's more of just like a logistical sort of thing where it's just like more than 2 hands are needed for solving this.
You want to know why she needs assistance from another human? Our cats suck.
Yeah, our cats are so bad at this. I think we talked about this on another episode. They don't catch the gnats. They don't catch the, like, flies. They don't catch anything.
You would have been so proud of me last night. I caught a fly or a gnat or something with my bare hand.
Oh.
Like, it was right by me and I did this. And I was like, I caught it.
That's pretty impressive, yeah.
Our cats could never.
Our cats couldn't. And so, yeah. So, shockingly, knock on wood, we haven't had a ton of bugs. I'm interested to see if that changes, though, as it's starting to get cooler and critters will start looking for warmer places. But, yeah.
That'd be a fun challenge to figure out.
Yeah, we'll see. But yes, I typically am the designated spider remover / bug exterminator. All right, friends, that's it for this week's episode of Zoom and Zoomies. Next week, we're actually talking about meals in the camper and what that experience is like, and our favorite hacks and tips.
If you got any questions or topic ideas, or just want to say hi, feel free to send us an email at zoomandzoomies@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you.
You can also follow our chaos on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Just go to linktr.ee/zoomandzoomies for all the links.
And if you liked hanging out with us today, it would mean the world to us if you left a rating wherever you listen to podcasts. And hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube. It really helps other people to find us and join in all of our adventures.
Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time with more Zoomies.